everybody. Welcome to Real Horror. And this is a show where we discuss the horror movie of the week. And tonight we're talking about Tucker and Dale versus Evil. And I want to thank you guys for coming. You guys in the chat already. Soul Assassin, how's it going? Thank you for coming. Netcat Media, thanks for being here. Nelson the Psychopath, how you doing? Mr. Pulp Noir, thank you for coming, of course, as always. And Papa Cotton, thanks for coming. Nice to see you. And Vinny is with us. How you doing tonight, Vinny?
I'm all right. I'm hanging in there. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Looking forward to talking about this awesome movie tonight.
Hell yeah, me too. This movie is so much fun. Loved it the first time I saw it. Watched it again today. Yeah, this thing holds up great.
Yeah, this was fun. Tommy, how you doing tonight?
I'm getting there. I prefer if you use my new pronouns and names. I will be referred to as Cash and Grab, and you can call me Tommy and the Cross Dressing Collective from now on. I want Adidas to sponsor me.
That's a good way to do it.
Nice.
Thank you guys for being here. Yeah, so let's just get right into it. I always like to ask first, do you guys have a favorite part? Vinny, we'll start with you. Did you have a favorite part to the movie?
I think it was the wood chipper.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That moment was so fantastic, and it was like, especially what's his name did as well, Alan Tudyk. That he's throwing the wood in there. He turns away, and that guy goes flying in there. It's like, that kid just threw himself into the wood chipper. I think there's some kind of cult. They want to kill each other themselves.
Oh man, that was good. How about you, Tommy? Did you have a favorite part?
I would say just the part where the beam breaks.
Oh yeah. Yep.
That was good.
That was good. That was neat. How it is like a booby trap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, the other part where the guy runs into the tree too is pretty funny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good too. Yeah, I think that was probably my favorite scene because it reminded me of Texas Chainsaw, the way that whole thing happened. Mm-hmm. Not the impaling, obviously, but him running around with the chainsaw. That was great. That was a nice homage to Texas Chainsaw. But yeah. So, do you guys want
to... goddamn, look at that. Somebody's got it right. Thank you, Pulp Noir. All hail Cross-Dressing Collective. And Soul Assassin, Tommy going to pull a Prince and be known as the guinea pig, formerly known as T. Look at this. This is beautiful. Goddamn. Adidas, are you paying attention? I need cash.
Everybody's respecting Tommy's pronouns. This is a very good stream.
Love it.
Cash and Grab.
All right. So, do you guys? Oh, nice. I like the picture. Let's blow that up.
Oh yeah. There we go.
That was so good. That was. I think that was another favorite scene of mine as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you guys want to break it down scene by scene?
However you want to do it today.
All right. Well, I'll do a brief synopsis for people who don't know anything about the movie. Mm-hmm. So this is a movie that you don't really expect because it's not a typical. It's not what you would expect to happen in a horror movie. It kind of turns things on its head a little bit, and that's the fun part. If you've seen movies like Cabin Fever or like I mentioned, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you kind of expect a certain demographic to be the ones to get murdered, and and stuff, and that this is kind of the opposite in this movie, which makes it fun. And
Yeah.
yeah, and this got it's almost got kind of a slapstick feel to it as well in certain places.
I'd say for sure it's an homage to Evil Dead. There's scenes in
Yes.
there that again homage to the Predator. There's a couple of really interesting stuff that they did.
Yeah, they did do they definitely did do the homages to different franchises. I definitely picked up on that as well.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Did you say slapstick or
Yeah.
slapdick?
So,
I thought I heard slapdick.
well, you hear what you want to hear, I think.
Oh God.
Well, I think that there's something to be said about the homages that they're paying to other movies, because the very beginning almost feels like it's a cross between a horror movie and Vacation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I could see that as well. Yeah, I didn't think of that. And there was some definitely Blair Witch in the very, very beginning, the way it's filmed.
Yeah.
And yeah, this was a well thought out movie, the way it was written and directed, everything. I thought they did a really good job. I think it's one of those that it's underappreciated. It made a little bit of a profit at the box office, but I'd kind of say it broke even. The budget was $5 million, and they brought in, it says 5.2 to 5.5 million. So that's not that great. And
that's actually pretty horrible, because when
Yeah.
you go to you also got to remember, and everybody always forgets this when they talk about box office, that number that you're seeing for the box office, that is not what the company pulled in. You got to remember the theater gets a part of that. Then there's also promotional that's got to be paid out. So this movie was a loss.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Too bad too, because I think it's got everything in it. I don't know why it wouldn't do better.
I think it's just at least at the time too. I think star power, that there wasn't really, because Alan Tudyk, he started getting more popular a few years after this. And then like the Star Wars thing helped him out a lot. He did a couple of other things that it was getting him more and more on people's radars. He did that. I don't know what it aired on first, but then I think eventually one of the streaming services bought it. It was called Con Men, and it was him going to conventions, and like he had a bunch of his friends were there, and like he did like this little series, but it was really good. It was funny as hell. What's the guy from Firefly?
Yeah.
What the hell is his name? I can't think of it right now. The rookie, Castle. Someone help me out. What's the guy's name?
Never watched the show. I can't help you.
On Firefly,
Serenity, Firefly.
Yeah.
The star.
Serenity Now?
Yeah, that's it.
Captain Mal. Are you talking about Captain Mal? I can't remember his name.
It's driving me crazy.
Send your pictures to dear old Captain Noah.
But yeah, Alan Tudyk was on that show as well.
Nathan Fillion, that's it.
Yes.
Nathan Fillion, Nolan North. There was a ton of people who were on his series, and it was getting him like a lot of notoriety and stuff. And then Disney picked him up for playing the robot in that Rogue One and all that shit. But yeah, he's hilarious. He's got that show, I think, on Sci-Fi Channel, the Alien one. That's like a comedy thing or something too.
Anyway. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Back to this.
But yeah, so yeah, he's probably the one that ate up a lot of the acting budget, because he was more well known. He was also, wasn't he in A Knight's Tale as well?
He might have been. We should. I'm gonna look him up now.
Yeah, I can't remember. I might be thinking of some different guy. But yes,
Alan Tudyk was in Resident Alien. Is that newer series? Tucker
Oh,
and
okay.
Dale. Yeah, Knight's
Yep.
Tale. You're right. A Knight's Tale, Firefly. He was in 42. He's done a lot of stuff. He was in iRobot.
Yeah, he's done a lot. He's a good actor.
He hit Dodgeball.
Nick Cat had it.
What's that?
The Nathan Fillion.
Yeah. It was driving me crazy. And I like the guy. I'm like, why can't I remember his name?
I know, me too.
We'll chalk that up
I
to.
saw him in that other series where he was a writer, but he was a writer, but in with cops. He was
Castle.
writing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Yeah, I've seen the first couple of seasons. That was a pretty good show.
Yep.
Oh, the pirate and dodgeball.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes, thank you, Soul Assassin.
Yeah, he's done a ton of work, and a lot of voiceover work.
Oh, thanks for dropping all those links, Soul Assassin.
Yes,
Hell yeah.
thank you.
Thank you.
Fantastic mod. Yeah, so
But yeah, and here's the thing: like these guys, they're both fantastic actors too. I mean, the guy who played Dale, that dude's hilarious. I know he's been like on a lot of TV stuff, but
see, I wasn't familiar with him, but I thought he did an excellent job in this movie.
he did. But yeah, so we basically have like these two kind of redneck hillbilly guys who, so that guy we were talking about, Alan Tudyk, the one with the cap there. He got a cabin, and they were going up to the cabin. They were going to fish and clean up the place, fix it up a little bit.
He didn't just get any old cabin, Vinny. Come on now.
Yeah, it was. Oh, go ahead.
It was a special cabin. It was a special mistress in the woods this time.
Mhm.
It was the cabin from the very beginning of the movie. You see them. There's like a girl and a guy doing an investigation, kind of like it really was kind of like Blair Witch style, and they were investigating this cabin because there was some massacre that happened there, and they were like, I know the cops forgot some stuff, so they're on the scene checking it out, and it ended up being that's the cabin.
Mhm.
And in that, when you see that the very beginning of the movie, it shows that there's this guy who ends up killing the guy and the girl that were there investigating on camera. You see the guy, he dies on camera. Just it's so much like Blair Witch.
Mhm.
But and then later when they show the cabin, you know that, oh yeah, that's the same cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
he made such a big deal about this being his summer getaway cabin too.
their vacation home.
That was funny as hell.
Yeah, that was great.
So yeah, they run into Tucker and Dale. They're at a gas station, and they run into these college kids that they're basically your
Suicide pact type.
Yeah, well, no. I was gonna say the Jason type of setups,
Yep.
the Camp Crystal Lake type deal. You got these young kids who they want to go on a camping trip to get high and screw and whatever, and yeah, so they run into these kids, these college kids, at the gas station, and Dale's like, "Wow, did you see these college girls? Holy hell!" And you have Tucker is like, "Why don't you go talk to one of them?" He's like, "Girls like that don't talk to guys like me." And he's like, "Well, you got no self-confidence. Get over there. Be confident." And he goes over there and creeps the shit out of them.
Yeah, because it didn't help that beforehand, these kids are driving along the road, and Tucker and Dale are on the side of the road, and they're drinking and driving, so they're not the best drivers. So they go to pull out on the road, but it's like right in front of these college kids, and so the college kids had to like swerve around for a minute, and they're like friggin' hillbillies and stuff like that. And then Tucker and Dale end up catching up to the kids somehow. They must have floored it, and they drive by the kids, and they look over at them, and it's like this sinister, like, it does look creepy. Like if I was those kids, I'd be like, Dude, roll up the windows and lock the doors.
Yeah, because they're giving him like these dirty looks too, and like they're not really. It's like deadpan. Like the
Yeah.
fat guy, his eyes are like he made them real small. Like he just give them like the daggers as they
Yeah.
drive by. Like who the hell you think you are?
And it's like, and that's not, and then when you end up like meeting Tucker and Dale, that's so not like their personality or what they're doing.
Right.
And yeah, so that was funny. So they're already creeped out by these guys, and they stop to get, because this girl's like, oh my God, guys, we forgot the beer. And it's totally ridiculous because she makes it sound like, this utter emergency, like in a horror movie you'd expect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so they stop to get beer at this little tiny gas station. And Tucker and Dale are there getting some parts. And this is the part that reminded me of a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because they stop at this like little podunk store.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy behind the counter is just like looking at him, and they give the guy a weird look too. And it's like, do you see how those girls looked at us? Like, it's just, the whole thing is funny.
That is.
And then yeah, so one of the girls is getting some stuff off the shelves, and there's Dale kind of like, not kind of, basic, he's totally staring at her from the other side of the shelf on the other aisle.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh no, and he's like, oh shit. And yeah, so that she's like, okay, I think we better get out of here.
Yeah, it's awkward as shit.
Yeah.
And most of the stuff that happens in this movie is almost like late 70s, early 80s, like sitcom, where it's just, oh, it was all a mistake type of deal.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And then the kids are outside and just like, doing whatever, and Tucker and Dale, well, Dale's like staring at them.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and like you were mentioning, Vinny, that he's like,
yeah, Tucker's like, yeah, get over there. Don't
Yeah.
be afraid. Go talk to him. Go talk to the woman. So he went over there, but he grabbed like one of his farming tools that.
yeah, like a sickle type thing.
Yeah, and he walks over, and it's just like he looks like he's ready to murder them, and it just freaks them out. I forgot what he said.
He's like, you kids go, because
But yeah, he didn't make a
Tucker
proper
goes-
sentence. Yeah.
Tucker goes, just like smile and laugh. People like that. So he's
Yeah.
like, you kids going camping? And then he starts laughing uproariously. And the kids are like, let's leave.
Yeah, we don't want any trouble. And then they grab the girls and they run into the truck. And he's still talking as like they're peeling away. And he's like, see, I told you, people, they just don't like me.
They don't like my face.
Oh, shit.
Oh man, that was good. Yeah,
But again, it's well acted how they did it. It's good comedy bits.
it really is. Because
So-
it's like, that like the comedy is right there out in the open, but it's also subtle at the same time. Like
Mhm.
it's not completely in your face.
Right.
It's actually really well done the way they do it. I can't really explain it,
Mhm.
but yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it works.
I
So
like
it-
how
There's one big miss in this movie in the beginning, though.
what's that?
What's that?
Nobody was playing a banjo.
I know. I was
Mhm.
thinking, why isn't there like a creepy kid or some kind of like weird thing at like the gas stop?
Yeah, it could have been there. It could have like an old guy on a rocking chair playing the banjo.
Yeah, like they had the cops say there's nothing up there but pain and suffering, but I was thinking they could have had someone like that at the store, or would that be too much of like, Friday the 13th?
Yeah, I think
You're
you're
like,
right.
you're all
It
doomed.
could have been too much. But that was funny when they got the cops stopped them. And what do you
Oh
call
my
it?
God.
Tucker, he had just opened up a beer and he was drinking it, and the cops right behind him. He's like, "Oh shit!" He drops it in between his legs. It fell on
Yeah.
the floor. He's like, "You gotta grab it. It's open beer. He's gonna see it." And Dale reaches over, and it's his shirt got caught, or his
Yeah.
overall or something. It got caught on Tucker's seatbelt or some shit. So as the cop's coming, like he just lifted up and it rips off his shirt. So he's completely bare chested and he's like, "Hey, what's up, officer?"
Oh man. And yeah, and the cop is the cop what he was thinking.
Oh, obviously. And he's like, "Well, I just pulled you over because you had a busted taillight." He's like, "Oh, thank you so much." And then he's like, "Yeah, where are you going?" Up to my cabin. I got a nice summer cabin up there. And then he's like, "That's what he's like."
Vacation home.
Vacation home, yeah. And he's like, "There is nothing but death and suffering." As the cop leaves, he's like, "Man, you believe him?" He's like, "Yeah. These people, so many people just jealous. Yeah, he can't afford a nice cabin like us."
Yes.
Oh shit,
That was so good.
that was great.
And then it's funny they get to the cabin and I'm like, oh no. And I'm,
It
and
was
I'm
the Evil
thinking,
Dead cabin.
yes, yes. And I'm thinking they're gonna complain about it or something like that. And they get to the cabin and they're like, it just needs a little work. This is beautiful.
Yeah.
And then they're sitting there like, score. Look at all these games sitting up here.
Yeah.
And I love when they're in the cabin checking stuff out, and Alan Tudyk's character Tucker goes, "Oh, I think the person who had this before us was an archaeologist." And Dale goes, "Yeah, my hockey, yeah." He couldn't say archaeologist.
Yeah.
That was
funny
hilarious.
shit. That was great.
And then he's like, there must have been news junkies too, because all the murder clippings were on the wall.
Yeah.
Oh, they must have been news junkies.
Oh god. Yeah.
Oh, and then they discover that booby trap beam in the house.
Yeah.
And
We
they
gotta
just-
fix that. What? Someone
Yeah.
get hurt.
Yeah, they just leave it there.
Well, they were meaning to get to it.
Yeah. That was so good.
So yeah, as they're checking out the cabin, and they cut back to the kids, and they're telling horror stories at the campfire and about the crazy thing that happened, and there's some lunatic, these hillbillies who kidnapped these people and murdered them, and they never found one of the bodies or whatnot, no, they found the woman, and she was so screwed up they had to take her to the psych ward, and she's been locked up ever since.
Yeah, she was pregnant, and they tortured her, and
Mhm.
they never found the father of the baby. And yeah, this is Chad telling the story, he's kind of a dick. And
Yeah.
and he's like, this hillbilly killed everyone except for one person, and it was that woman. And yeah, that becomes important at the end of the movie.
Mhm.
That story.
Yeah, Netcat. This one's easily overlooked, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because just on its surface, if you see the title, you might not think much of it. Okay, here's another bad B-rated horror movie, and you might pass on. But no, this one is actually fun to watch. So
It is.
Mhm.
And it's shot really well. All the
Yeah.
angles are really great. It feels like they did it on film.
Yeah, you're right. This is
Mhm.
really well done B movie for sure.
It's got quality to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're entertaining. I think the main chick in there was, I think she's the one who played Marsha Brady in that movie.
Oh, really?
I think that was her.
I wasn't familiar with any of the college kids.
Yeah, for me it was just her. She's the only one that was familiar, because I knew her face. I think she's married to what's his face? Ben Stiller. She might be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What the hell was her name? Let me see if I can find her. Oh no! Wait, I think it was wrong. Let me double check this. Oh, she was in American Pie.
Yeah, she has that look like she would be in a movie like that.
Yeah, Scary Movie. A couple of horror movies and things like that. Oh, I thought that was her. I guess I was wrong. She has
Well,
some
see,
very similar features.
See, with the big mistake that you're making, Vinny, is you're looking at her from her face. You got to look from the behind shot. That's where you're going to figure out where you've seen her before.
This is true. You're not wrong. But yeah, most of the other cast, I don't know who the hell they are.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
But again, surprisingly, they all did a good job. I mean,
yeah,
there was no one I was like super annoyed at or anything when I saw her. I'm like, oh, this is good.
Well, you
No,
know what I think. What else they did pretty well is, and you could tell that they must have had a pretty shoestring budget. But even then, the few special effects that they used, even though you knew they were a little cheesy, they didn't look bad the way that they did it, the way that they filmed the angles.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
They definitely they could have went cheaper and made a profit on the movie, but you can tell that they really they were shooting for a good movie. They definitely put work into this.
Yeah, I don't know how it was advertised, but I hope if they went heavily on like the kind of comedic side of it too, because it's in that vein of like some of the comedy that's like in Evil Dead.
Yeah.
You know? But
Yeah,
like the jokes it's a lot more dialogue jokes, and it works because the two of them, they have great chemistry, these two guys. Like it really works. They bounce off each other really well.
So here's a question. Like now looking at like some of the other cons that are out there, like the horror cons and everything, do you think if something like this were promoted at a horror con that it would have did better?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
I think so.
Yeah, because I mean, it's got everything in it. It's got, you've got the horror, you've got the gore, but it's nothing is overdone, and you've got the comedy, and it's just the right amount of comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think that if it had better marketing, it would have done better. There's no reason why it didn't.
Exactly.
Well, I should say that's the reason why it didn't.
But I know this is one of those movies that people do love if you talk about it at a horror convention. Yeah, they're all over it. But yeah, good stuff. So anyway, so as they're kind of fixing up their cabin and stuff, we cut to those kids. They tell the kind of that story about that woman and everything, and then they want to go, oh hey, well, who wants a skinny dip? So they all go running to the lake, and Tucker and Dale, they decide to do some night fishing. Yeah. And as they're night fishing, like there's good banter that they're having. And then Dale looks over and he sees that the hot blondie tried to talk to her at the gas station, and she's just in a bra and panties, like on a rock, like on a big kind of rock. And he's like, "Oh my god, there's the college kid or whatever." And Tucker's like, "Hot damn!" Like he's looking, and Dale's a gentleman, and he's trying to look away, and he shouts at Tucker like, "What are you doing, Tucker? Don't look at her," or whatever. She gets startled. She turns around, and she falls off the rock, bumps her head, and she goes into the water.
Yeah.
And Tucker's like, "No, why would you do that?" And he's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "When you see a hot college girl practically naked about to skinny dip, why would you shout my name?" And they look over and see like she's not getting up. So then like they start to move the boat over there, and Dale jumps out of the water to go save her. He grabs her, and they're putting her onto the boat. And that's when you see one of the other girls who's a little further away, and they go, "Oh my god!" They see that these two hillbilly guys are putting that girl into the boat with them and kind of taking off.
Yeah, and they start screaming, and they're like, "They took Allison!" And then at the same time, Dale's like, "We got your friend."
Yeah, well, yeah, that was the funny part of it.
And they start leaving the notes. "We got your friend."
Yeah.
Yeah, they found a hatchet because like it's the morning, and they're like, what the hell? They couldn't find where she went. They try to get help from like the douchebag guy, and he's there with the hatchet in his hand. He's like, we gotta find them. So he's kind of messing around with it, and he chucks it into a tree. He left it there. So later in the morning, they're trying to find the college kids, and they can't. So they went, well, we'll just leave a note. And he found the hatchet, so he's carving into a piece of wood, "We have your friend."
Yeah. We got your friend. Dale spelled friend FREIND. We got her friend. That was great.
It was awesome.
And that was let me see. I think that was after. Wasn't that after Tucker got stung in the face after he was? Yeah, he was outside
Oh, yeah, I think it
working,
was.
and
Mhm.
Allison and Dale were inside playing that trivia game, and he was like kicking her ass.
Yeah, because she woke up. She woke up, didn't know what was kind of going on, and he kind of,
Yeah,
there was a little bit of a miscommunication, and then she kind of understand
absolutely.
that. Yeah, she understand that they saved her. So
Yeah,
like, yeah, you're like your friends will come here, and then you could go home with them, whatever. Just there's nothing else that's really in these woods. So yeah, well, we'll just kind of wait it out. So they're playing one of the board games. You have Tucker is he was cutting up some of the trees because again he wants to clean up his place and make it all nice and all this shit. And he hits a hornet nest that's inside the tree. As the kids are like they're kind of scoping him out, and he comes around his cabin like a maniac. Like again, if you guys watch
yeah,
me play any of that Resident Evil 4 game, the chainsaw guy, how he's spinning it in the air like a lunatic or like a Chainsaw Massacre
yeah,
and because bees are all around him and he's not dropping the chainsaw and he's running with the chainsaw and bees are stinging him everywhere. And one of the kids was running side by side with them and he looked up like, what the hell? Oh my God, that was hilarious.
yeah. And the
I don't know
kid
how.
ends up impaling himself,
Mm-hmm.
and then he goes back to the cabin and he's like pissed off at Dale, and he's like, "If you were outside helping me," and his face is all swollen, and Dale is like, they kind of act like a couple. Dale was like, "Well, how about if I pull out all the
The
stingers and then I
stingers.
help you in the yard work?" And Tucker's like, "Yeah, I would appreciate that."
I would like that.
Oh man,
He's
it's
making
good.
up to
That
his buddy.
that
But yeah,
that's
but they didn't see at that point. They didn't see that kid had impaled himself.
right.
He goes,
Yeah,
yeah. He goes, I saw one of your friends. Apparently, I guess he was deathly afraid of hornets or something too, because he was running faster than me.
yes, yeah, yeah. That's right. And then he had no idea that he had impaled himself.
Yeah,
So yeah, he didn't even mention it. And I can definitely see how things could be taken the wrong way by the college kids. Cause I mean, like just the way everything happened and how it looked from their perspective,
yeah. But they
you
did. They
know.
did almost everything bad that happened. They did to themselves, which is great. Because then they find their friend, and then they want to blame Tucker and Dale. Like, oh my God, they killed so and so, and it's just, no, they
Yep.
didn't. So yeah, so they're afraid of them, and then like every time they do kind of spy on them, there's something that like that was said inside that out of context sounds like something completely different.
Yeah, like after that whole thing, and they go to, like Allison's like, "Oh, I better go tell my friends that I'm okay," and stuff like that. And they're like, "No, no, you stay. We'll go do that." And they're like, "You rest. We got this." And so they go find the college kids, and they can't find them. So they're like, "Hey, college kids!" And I love how they just call them college kids the whole movie.
Yeah,
And that's when they're like, "Okay, we'll leave a note. We got your friend."
mm-hmm.
And but before, see, and the college kids are hiding from them because they think, "Oh my God, these people are killing us."
Mm-hmm.
And so they're hiding, but they can hear what they're talking about. And Dale's like, "Can you believe I was beating the crap out of her?" And he's like, "When we get back, I'll finish her off, and then and then I'll
Yeah,
help you," or something like that. And it's like, imagine hearing it from their perspective and not knowing what really happened.
right.
Yeah,
It's
they're like,
literally
they're gonna kill her.
talking about the board games with the,
Yeah,
oh, it was funny.
that was
Yes.
well done.
Yeah, there's a lot of kind of crazy moments like that, and yeah, I mean it worked. It was just funny as hell, and just how they meet their demise. There were some brutal like kind of kills in this movie, but
Yeah,
yeah, one of them was like they wanted to bum rush Tucker and Dale, and again Tucker was outside. He was working on his on the wood chipper machine. And one of them was going to go bum rush him, and as he kind of turned to grab another piece of wood, the kid went flying right into the wood chipper.
I know. And Tucker's like absolutely mortified, and he's trying to like pull the kid out, but he can't. And
Mhm.
so, but from someone else's perspective, it looks like he's shoving him in.
Yeah.
And like he's getting squirted with all kinds of blood and stuff. And they're like, it just looks so bad. And then I think it's at the same time that Dale is digging that house that outhouse hole or whatever it's called, and
Shithole.
yeah, the shithole, and Allison is helping him, and they're like, they got her digging her own grave.
Yeah, they're like, these sick sons of bitches.
So,
And one of them like goes to like impale Dale or something, whatever.
yeah, he runs it. Well, did he have like a pitchfork or something?
It was like either a stick or I don't know.
I think it was a sharpened stick.
Yeah, I think it was a
he
stick. Yeah.
trips. Dale, he had his shovel resting on his shoulder, so when he turned, he cracked the girl in the head again. She fell into the shithole, and he fell beside her, and then that kid fell, but the spear landed first on the side of Tucker's face, and then the kid fell on top of it.
And
then
slowly,
himself.
yes, and he slowly impales himself. Like the thing is, it's happening in slow, like it's slowly happening.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine being next to that?
Oh my God, that was good. He was freaking out.
This is when they get back together and they start comparing notes, and they got a suicide pact.
Yes, Allison. So they take Allison, who is knocked out again, into the cabin and lay her down, and they're like, "Okay, I think I know what's going on here. They have a suicide pact." And Dale's
Your
like,
friends are completely messed up. Because she came to, she's like, what the hell happened? Your friends
God.
they're sick. Like,
And-
that's gotta be wrong.
There's dead college kids all over the place.
Yeah, I know. This it was so funny.
Because then they want to clean up the place. Because then Tucker goes, he goes, listen, we got to clean this up. He goes, they're going to call the cops, and they're going to get here, and they're going to think we did something bad. He goes, what do you think this looks like?
Yeah,
Oh,
Dale's
geez.
like, yeah,
You're
at
right.
first Dale's like, we really should call the cops and tell them what happened. And Tucker's like, and how do you think that's going to go? We've got a real doozy of a dinger here. We just got college kids killing themselves all over our property.
They go, yeah, when Allison comes to, she'll tell the cops. And they're like, yeah. So, we got a girl who's out cold here. He's like, think, man. Come on, let's go clean up these bodies. So they take the one guy out of the wood chipper. And as they're taking him out of the wood chipper, the cops are pulling up. Basically, it's this scene here. Like, they're dragging the body.
Oh my God, that was so funny. They dragged the bottom half of the kid's body out, and it ends up landing on Dale. And he's like, no, get it off me. And instead of like getting it off him like the way that it like to the side or something, he drags it
over his face.
So excited.
And then the two of them, when they're dragging the body, where they go, damn, he's heavy for half a man.
Yes. And then the cop rolls up, and they're still carrying the body.
Yeah. And the kids, because the kids met the cop on the road, and like you got half of them are in the back seat. You have the one that was in the passenger side, and he told them, like, yeah, stay in the car, like, we'll handle this. And he's talking to them, and the kid's like, how come they're not just arresting them? And they're sitting there talking, they're like, oh yeah, see, there's some kind of suicide pact, and whoa, I got a girl tied up in my bedroom, or she's out cold in my bedroom, and she'll tell you when she comes to. And then Tucker's got his hands on Dale, like, what the hell did you just say to him?
I love how when they're telling the cop what's going on, like legit the truth, and the cop goes, do you think that I'm some kind of moron? And Dale's like, not a moron, but maybe just open-minded.
Yeah. That was great.
And then the cop agrees to like go in like that. That was weird. Like why would they do that? And even the girl in the cop car is like, why the fuck aren't they just arresting him? Why are they going in? That was funny.
Yeah.
And then he gets hit with, well, he checks on Allison, who is thankfully isn't dead or anything, and you know
Right.
her pupils are responding to the light and all that, and he's like, well, you're lucky about that. And it's like it's so absurd. I love it.
Yeah, because then he backs up as he's talking to them. It looks like he can still go into any direction at this point. And the cop puts his hand on that one loose beam, and they're like, no, get your hand off. And then it's basically the booby trap, and the cop gets hit right in the face with a piece of wood with, like, I don't know, 7 or 8 nails in it.
Yep.
And he's stumbling backwards, and Dale's like, oh my God, how is he still walking? He opens up the door. And the kid sees he's got this piece of wood, and his nails are like it went straight through his face, and it's popping out all sorts of places. And he makes it to the cop car. The kid's just screaming, and he's trying to grab the walkie-talkie thing in the cop car to say what's going on. And then like he falls on the floor dead right there, and they're all screaming.
Yeah, because they can't get out of the car.
Yeah, you have 3 of them were in the back seat, and they couldn't get out because it's the cop car. And the one who was in the passenger side, he gets out and he takes the gun off the cop. And you're like, whoa, what are you doing, man? And Dale goes, oh, you might want to take the safety off of that. And Tucker hits Dale like, what's wrong with you? And the kid's still so scared, he's fumbling with the gun, and bam, it goes off.
Yeah. Yeah, he blows his head off. Oh my God.
Yeah, all over the cop car, and the kid's just screaming even more. And then the douchebag comes running up to save his other friends. He grabs the gun, he starts firing at Tucker and Dale, who run into the house, into the cabin, and they're laying on the floor like, what the hell? What the hell just happened? What's wrong with these kids? And they realize that the dog's not in the house, and the douchebag kid has the dog. He stopped shooting, and he's basically threatening the dog's life, like, get out here.
Yeah, get out here, or I'll kill the dog.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the shootout with Dale using a nail gun and Chad using the real gun, and Dale's doing a better job.
Yeah. Ricocheting off the cop car.
Yeah, that was a really good job. That was funny.
Yeah, Tucker was trying to save the dog. He got the dog free, but then he got himself kind of captured by those kids.
Yes, and Chad, who is definitely like serial killer material, ties him up upside down, and like cuts off 2 of his fingers.
Yep.
And then leaves it on the deck of the cabin with a note. Yeah. And so Allison reads the note, and the note is like, what did the note say?
Now we have give us Allison back, because now we have your friend.
Now we got your friend. Yeah. And they're like, see, your friends are like psychotic and stuff. And she's like, no, this is just a misunderstanding and stuff. That was so good. So they go and they rescue Tucker. And then, but before that,
because it's a booby trap.
Yes. And he would have been impaled, by that, like, I think it's supposed to be a bear trap or something. But he goes, this is the one time where I'm glad I'm not hung like a bear.
Yeah. Because this piece of wood comes down in between his legs, and it hit like the loose part of his pants, and it went through.
Yeah.
Because he didn't continue walking forward. When his friend told him to stop, he stopped, but he had already set off the trap, and he just it would have went through him for sure if he kept walking.
Yes. Yeah, that was lucky. and yeah, so then he cuts Tucker down, and they make it back to the cabin, and everybody, well, Dale and that other girl is there, and they discover that Allison has, well, they think Allison has Stockholm syndrome, but Allison's like, no, listen, I think people just need to talk this out. And so she tries to have Dale and Chad like talk things out, and that's when the earlier story about the Memorial Day massacre, it comes in as being important, because Chad tells the story about, the Memorial Day massacre, and is that when he?
Well, he said that apparently those two people were his parents.
Yes.
And that the woman, she tried to fight back, but they tortured her. They didn't say exactly what happened, but because my mom was already pregnant with me and she didn't know it yet at the time, and she got away, and she's been in a psychiatric ward ever since. And his father wasn't lucky enough, and they said that they burned him alive or something.
Yes.
And Dale's sitting there going like, oh my God, I feel so sorry for you. But he goes, first, I wasn't that hillbilly who did that to you. I would have been like 6 years old. And he's like, it's your type. It's your same people, blah, blah, blah. Like he's trying to have like, some kind of empathy for the kid. And but that's when the other two friends come in, and they kind of distracted what was going on. And some more of those unfortunate accidents they happen in the cabin, and the civility goes out the window. That kid Chad flips the table at them, and they kind of have a little bit of a scuffle in there. And two of the other friends end up because Chad was going to burn the whole cabin down, so there's still like gasoline and kerosene all over the place.
Yep.
So Chad is actually the one who does it. He ends up killing his own friend. He goes to throw the lantern at Dale and misses, or at Tucker and misses, and it hits his friend in the leg. And then the other one, trying to put the fire out, grabs what she thinks is a glass of water or something, and it's moonshine, and it ignites him even further.
Yep.
She falls back, and there's more fire all around her. She finally gets a drag of her cigarette, and as they were trying to run out of the cabin, and there's just a big explosion. Because then you see like the pile of gasoline, kerosene, everything else, and he's like, I probably should have moved those.
Yes. Yep. And then as they're looking, they see Chad get up. He survives the fire, of course.
He looks like Two-Face. He's all
yes, that's what I thought too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And they escape in the truck, but like a second later they crash.
Yeah.
The worst luck.
Yeah, because he's not paying attention. He's looking back at where Chad is, and he hits a tree. So he wakes up with the dog looking him in the face, and he's like, he hears Tucker, but he doesn't know where he is. The girl's missing, and he's outside the car on the floor, and it looked like he got kind of slashed up or something from Chad, who ended up stealing the girl. He kidnapped the girl.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that point he's already lost his mind completely.
Yes.
And they have kind of a touching moment where it was funny. And he kind of builds up Dale, like his self-confidence that, you could do this, or, go save her or whatnot. And, he goes, and it's like a rundown, like, what was it, like a sawmill or something?
Yeah, sawmill.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And basically there's your Evil Dead moment where you see him, like, he's putting the straps on and he's getting like, a bunch of gear ready.
Yeah, the montage.
Yeah.
And then the best line of the movie hits. Well, that don't make sense at time. That means your dad had to have been a hillbilly, so you're a part hillbilly.
Yeah. Yeah.
They find the newspaper article.
Oh yeah, that's right. So they cut Allison off of the table because Dale tied her down, and she was about to get sliced in half. And so so Dale rescues her, and I like that little outfit that he put together, and I wish NECA would make a figure of it.
Oh,
But
that'd be great.
I would totally get that. But so yeah, they find like the upstairs office, and they go in there, and they barricade the bulkhead doors that lead up to it, and they're looking around trying to find like a weapon or something, and that's when Allison finds the newspaper, and it's the front page, and it talks about the story that Chad told. And I thought when she had found it, I thought that it was going to be like he was like a killer or something like that, but his story was true, and that
His-
was
But his mother was not pregnant at the time. She was beaten and raped, and the kid is actually he's the offspring of one of the hillbillies that did all this.
yeah
That's why he's a psycho, and
Yep.
yeah, he went over the edge.
Yep. Yeah, they were like, we find it, and then Chad breaks in, and they're like, we found your father, and then you're half hillbilly, and he's like, no, it can't be, and stuff, and then they have a fight, and Dale, remembering about the chamomile tea, throws the chamomile in his face, and like Dale just kind of stops breathing completely. And
Well, yeah, because Dale goes, because earlier they said that when they were sitting down for that conversation, he's got asthma and the chamomile tea it reacts to him. So so when he threw it in his face, he's like, oh, he'll be okay as long as we find his inhaler, and then he falls backwards out the window, and they're like, we'll just close these.
Yes, and when he fell out the window, I kind of got Friday the 13th vibe from that.
Yeah.
But I love how they kind of like walk back in and just close the window, like okay, we'll just pretend that didn't happen right now.
Well, there's one thing we kind of skipped over.
What's that?
How did Dale remember that so quickly? Because when he was playing that game with her, he says anything he hears once, he's got idemic memory. So anything he hears once, he always remembers. So he remembered that about the asthma and him being allergic to that stuff.
Yep, and he even named the chemical that is in the chamomile tea that causes the asthma reaction in the kid.
Well, the reason the chamomile tea came out is because when they sat down for the little meeting, he says, oh, would you like some tea? And they said, yeah. Chamomile? Oh, no, I'm allergic to that.
Yeah. So they had Earl Grey instead.
Yep.
Which the original Captain Picard would have approved of.
Yes, Earl Grey, hot.
That's right.
Yeah, that was good. This was such a fun movie to watch, and I think I really like how it was done, and the ending was good. It was odd for.
Well, I was going to say, it was like it was the news. You see a news anchor, and they're talking about like the incident at the cabin, and as they're saying that too, you hear that kid actually got away. They couldn't find the body.
Yeah, because you see, Tucker is in the hospital, so he survives, and Dale and Allison are like. They're dating. They're going bowling and stuff. So
we can't miss one of the funniest parts of the movie.
What's that?
When you got he's sitting in the hospital bed listening to this on the news as Dale comes in, and you could see he's got all of his fingers again, and he goes, "Look, they actually found my fingers in the cabin. Don't forget it exploded." So. You see him lift his hand. He goes, I don't remember this one looking like that, though. And the ring finger that's cut off, it's the girl's finger because it's got the painted nail.
Yeah. That was good.
That was hilarious.
That's right. And he's like, does it look weird to you? And Dale's like, no, it looks fine.
So, one of the saddest things about this, they did have it slated to have a part 2.
Oh,
but it fell through.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. So all the way back in 2020, they were talking about they had stuff moving along and that they were planning on doing stuff. They had story, and they said the story's not being is not done being told. And then, yeah, whatever happened, it fell apart at the end.
Yeah, well, we know what happened. You said 2020?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. We know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That really stinks.
I wonder what kind of extras they might have in the collected or the special edition, because they do have a special edition steelbook available for this movie.
I'm gonna get that. I'm definitely getting that because
I see it's available. Best Buy is one of the places that has it. It says it's like about $20 for the steelbook. So,
oh wow,
all right.
Whether or not they still have it available or not, and if they don't have it, maybe something like FYE or one of those other shops might have it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely gonna look for that. But yeah, this was a really fun movie to watch and review, and I the ending was fun because yeah, I saw that Soul Assassin. I really don't do Funko anymore. So I probably would pass on that. I'd rather have a NECA figure.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
It's nothing against Funko. I just I've kind of just moved on to NECA. The extra details and the like just the extras that come with them. I prefer NECA now, but yeah, I do have a Funko collection. But yeah, like the ending to this movie was fun because usually in a horror movie, you don't get a good ending. It's usually like something leaves you feeling like oh man, like oh that sucks or something like that. It's like it's horror. It's not supposed to be a happy ending.
Right.
But this one kind of did have a happy ending, other than the kid obviously escaped, but that's not really like a bad ending to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think like in a normal, or I would say like in other horror movies, I expected like Tucker to die, or even Allison, or Dale, or usually like a major character that you really like ends up dying.
Yeah.
And they didn't do that in this movie. But even though they didn't, it still totally worked, and it didn't like leave you feeling like something was wrong with the movie or something was missing. I think it was perfectly written.
I think so too. It was a lot of fun. I had no problems with this whatsoever.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't think I would change anything about this movie.
Yeah, no, I just wish we got the sequel.
I know, but with it really just, like Tommy said, basically lost money. I'm not surprised that it didn't get another movie.
I wonder if it gained some popularity, with the kind of I guess that stardom of Alan Tudyk for a minute, because for a hot minute there, like people were using him all over the place.
No, I think it's very much the same thing that you've seen with the Evil Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Evil Dead lost money in the theater, and it was a cult hit, and it didn't happen until much later on, and it became immensely popular.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
I mean, I think it's the same thing with this one. I think it's like, you're probably seeing these horror cons popping up, and they're talking about some of these type of movies that that went by the wayside, and then that's when it started developing a bit of a following. But it probably just wasn't enough, and it wasn't soon enough to be able to garner enough attention for them to actually follow through with the sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because I know like in 2018, that's when they released that Steelbook edition, is what it said. So that means, there was a lot more people asking about it. They wanted more. So they released that kind of comic book drawing steel cover.
So I wonder, is there any way to find out like how much a movie or franchise has made? Like I know that they do the box office numbers, but do they ever calculate after years how much a franchise is made or stuff like that? Like with movie sales and like DVDs and anything like that?
Yeah, I have seen it before, and I forget what you have to do for the search in it. I don't know if it's a total sales for a movie or total money earned for a movie. I think is the way that you have to put it into the search query.
Okay. Because I bet like up to this point, it's definitely made a lot more money.
Yeah, I think so. It had to have.
Soul Assassin, bite your tongue. We do not want a reboot or a TV series.
No way. No. Just continue their story. Bring them back.
Yes. Tucker, Dale, and Chad. And all the same actors. Like, don't recast Chad or anything like that. And Allison as well.
That's it. Yeah, get the same people.
Yeah.
Are we good? I would add more funny people in there as well. I would try to get Bruce Campbell to jump in there.
Oh,
How great would that be?
Yeah.
Do a cameo of another hillbilly dude and make it Robert Englund. He would eat that shit up.
Yeah.
I would get Kane Hodder to do an appearance.
I know. Like, it could even be something brief, like he's the killer, like he's a he's one of the killers in the Memorial Day massacre, but like not as Jason, just as a killer.
Yeah, and it would be great because again, he's older. It would kind of fit that timeline. It'd be great.
Yep. Or maybe like he has a cabin like up the street or something like that. Or
Robert Englund could have been the father to Chad.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. Or have Kane Hodder be his dad.
Yeah, one of them. I mean, you could do something real fun with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you could have your montage back to the newspaper clipping, and they arrested him. Maybe he got out, or there's stuff to play with.
Yeah.
Damn it, Hollywood, get back on it.
I know. But yeah.
Oh, on the DVD, there's a bonus feature that allows you to watch the film from the college student's point of view.
Oh, that is cool.
Oh, nice.
Complete with Tucker and Dale as complete psychopaths.
Holy shit.
Oh, that's awesome. We should. Oh man,
that's just on the limited one.
It just says on DVD.
Okay.
Oh man, that would be awesome to watch it from that point of view and then review that point of view.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, that'd be great.
Wow, even Roger Ebert gave this a thumbs up.
Oh wow.
Nice. Again,
that's
what's
surprising.
not to like? This movie was excellent.
But yeah, this I'd definitely be buying this for my budding collection that I'm getting off the ground.
Hell yeah.
So do you guys have any more thoughts about the movie? Anything else you want to talk about?
I think we hit it all. Trying to think. No, we were pretty thorough with these. And a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, we went all the way in and all the way up through the shithole.
The shithouse hole.
Yeah.
I will say this though. I've rewatched this pretty recently, so I didn't have to rewatch it again before we were doing the stream.
Mm-hmm.
But I had stopped back and I watched another movie, and I've been looking for it everywhere, and I finally found it on Tubi of all places. So I finally had a chance to rewatch Gremlins 2. And I've been pining to watch this movie for a while now, and they just recently must have re-added it back to Tubi because the last time I looked, it wasn't up there. So I went back and watched it, and I forgot about all the other gremlins that they had in that movie because I got that spider gremlin from NECA.
Yep.
But they have the bat. They have the one that was like the Now, was that one cross-dressing, or did that one take like one of those experimental potions too? The one that turns into like the one that looks like a chick gremlin.
Oh
That's a
man,
good question. I don't remember.
I can't remember. I thought. Oh,
See,
I think
I couldn't remember because there were so many of those things just taking all these different potions that were in the laboratory. And yeah, it is an underrated movie, and it's got some good acts. Christopher Lee is in it. Is the freaking head scientist.
Oh wow!
And I forgot all about it because my brother and I were talking about Hulk Hogan and all the weird movies he's been in, and one of them listed was Gremlins 2. And I was like, I don't remember that. In the middle of the movie, it looks like the screen melts, and then you see the Gremlins laughing, and then they're playing like a cartoon, and all of a sudden it cuts to the guy going out into the theater. He says, "We got a problem. We got Gremlins," and you see Hogan stand up, "Gremlins here?" Yeah. Yeah, you think the Grimsters can stand up against the Hulkamania? And like, oh my God, I forgot all about that.
Yeah,
that is such a fun movie. But yeah,
that was funny.
There's another one. Make that Bat Gremlin. I know they actually have plans to make the that female-looking Gremlin because I seen it on the back of the box for the little Gremlin 2 figures with like Mohawk and Daffy and all those ones.
yeah.
So they got a picture of that on the back, and I guess it hasn't been released yet. But yeah, you
got to do the bat.
You got to get that Bat Gremlin. That thing, I forgot how cool that thing looked.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, if I saw that, I would. Well, as long as I get the funds for it, I would definitely get that.
Is that?
I don't know. Well, I don't know how you found the spider, to be honest.
Dude, they still have it in my Target. They still got one sitting on the shelf.
Tommy's Target gets everything. I got nothing.
Oh, yeah, what the hell? I found the Transformer Vinny has been looking for everywhere, just sitting on the damn shelf.
Yeah, man. Dude, thank you again for that.
Those bastards, me and Vinny were talking about, they're hiding toys in the back to push that Allspark garbage, and it's not selling, and they lowered the prices. Oh, and they lowered the prices on their Indiana Jones. It just came out already, too. They're like, they're slashing prices everywhere because nobody wants to buy their trash. But yeah, all of a sudden you see these old legacy figures, not the new ones that are in the Evolution Legacy, the old legacy figures. All of a sudden they're up on the shelves, on the pegs, meaning that they were sitting in the back in the storeroom all this time while they pushed the new garbage.
Yep, we call that shit. Told you
that. Soul Assassin. Yeah. But they've been re-releasing everything. I'm sorry, Vinny.
Oh, okay. Shit, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, it looks like that was awesome too, the way it was boxed and everything. Oh, no shit. That was a while ago, and looks like 2016 it came out. Looking at NECAonline.com. Yeah, it looks like it came out in 2016. So yeah, they'll probably re-release it, seeing as how they're doing all the Gremlins again.
Mm-hmm. Holy crap, yeah, that looks freaking sweet.
I definitely need it.
Yeah, that one and the spider one. Yeah, that's good stuff there. Like they did his ears like kind of like bats as well.
Dude, that spider one, I was so impressed with that one. That was so well done. And as for spindly as the legs are, it still was able to hold the weight up of the damn thing. So
nice.
Well, yeah, I think this is a good place to wrap it up. Anyone who hasn't seen this movie, if you want to see it, it's free to watch on Tubi, and I definitely recommend it. I give it I have no complaints at all with the movie, so 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't change anything. I had a really good time watching it, and totally recommend it. So. Yeah, check it out if you have the time and feel like it.
Yeah.
But other than that, I want to thank everybody for stopping in here to catch the live, and anybody who's watching on the replay, thank you as well. Appreciate all of you, and thank you, Vinny and Tommy, for being here. And Vinny, why don't you let them know how to find you and whatever else you got going on?
Yeah, you could find me taking bodies out of wood chippers and no, that I can't talk about that stuff. No, yeah, I got some good stuff over on my YouTube channel. You can check out that. We should be doing a Friday stream. I think we'll do a toy stream or something if you guys are up to it as well. Yeah, because I know we missed another week, but yeah, hopefully we'll be able to pull that one off. I forgot that this Sunday is Easter, but I'll still try to do a stream. I mean, usually we do them at night anyway, so most of the other stuff should kind of be out of the way by that point. But yeah, again, channel's doing good, and if you want some fantastic stuff, we actually have these beautiful comic books that are available right now. So if you're into horror, you love that stuff, Ghost Stories Through the Woods is a perfect book for you. It's the hardcover one. It's in the middle. It's bigger than the other books. It's about like 9 by 12 inches, 100 pages. Incredible story and art in there. Check it all out. The covers and the interior all look the same, so it's super high quality. City of Venus, Dead City, that's still available if you're into hot chicks in a kind of post-apocalyptic, futuristic world. And if you love pirates and some other really cool stuff and supernatural things, Shadow of the Kraken is also available. That's a 52-page comic book, perfect bound. Yeah, I'm super proud of that one. That's the newest campaign I got available right now. And yeah, I'm working on City of Venus 2 as we speak. So that's why, these books are available. Get them while you can. Get them while they're hot. And yeah, thank you, everyone.
Yeah, awesome. And thank you for being here tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Tommy, let them know where to find you and what you got going on.
Just follow the guinea pigs. They will lead you home. Guys, you can find me at Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective. Just as the name suggests, the guinea pigs control the channel. I am just the face of the channel. They control everything, the horizontal, the vertical. They will control your life. Step in, be assimilated. Still doing a lot of shorts, getting some videos up now and then. The last one I got up was the NBK Oversized Deformed Devastator. That was a lot of fun to put together. Interesting toy. I'm looking forward to getting a couple more done. The next one up, I got Jetfire, I got Usagi Yojimbo. All these are already filmed. They're just going to be put up on the channel as soon as I get done editing. May make a couple of them shorts too. And the other thing, of course, is doing the BattleBot stuff. I got some new BattleBots that are going to be debuting soon. So, and for the few people that come to my channel complaining that the BattleBots are just remakes of the other BattleBots, yeah, what do you expect? I don't have a 3D printer. I can't just print new BattleBots. Budget, people, budget. Hey guys, thank you for stopping in. Thanks for being in the chat. Thanks for sharing out the links out there on the Twitterverse. It's always appreciated when you're here because this is a lot more fun when you guys are here and you're adding comments to what we're talking about and being able to add to the conversation. Always a pleasure to be up here with Vinny and Trina. And guys, remember, never let anybody tell you what you can or can't say, what you should or should not watch, because your silence gives consent. And you'll wind up like them fools that keep feeding money to the companies that hate them. Later, y'all.
Yes. Yeah, and so again, thank you all for being here. And yeah, so next week, now usually I have a movie all lined up, but I actually did have one in mind. But Tommy, you mentioned Gremlins too. Do you want to do that next week?
Oh, I wouldn't mind doing that. That's a fun movie.
Okay. All right, then. Yeah, we'll do Gremlins 2. Should we do 1 and 2 or just 2?
We could do 1 and 2. Why not?
All right. Yeah. So next week we'll see you guys at same time, 7 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday for Gremlins 1 and 2. And yeah, hope you all have a great night and enjoy the rest of your week. And happy Easter. And yeah, see you all next week.
Yeah, happy Zombie Jesus Day.
He will rise again.